Happy New Year. This is my first update as far as the New Year is concerned. I hope y'all have been enjoying. I had like a backlog of updates, so I hope y'all have been enjoying getting them more frequently. Um, on New Year's Eve, I talked to my birth father for the first time on the phone, I should say, in probably over a month. We've been texting and keeping in touch and stuff like that. Still haven't really gone into depth asking him questions and things like that. I feel like once we meet in person, I will know the connection and know how far to go. So I haven't like asked him about the back history of the family and all of that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that I want to ask him. But I feel like either I'm going to do it in person or I'm going to do it after we meet because um, right now it's just about trying to build a better connection and know whether or not, and build a better connection and know how far I want the relationship to go. I don't know if that makes sense. So, anyway, so we've been chatting. Every now and then he'll tell me a little bit more about the story behind my adoption and um, what happened between him and my birth mom and things like that. So he tells things, and every time I get like one more nugget that I didn't get before. Um, so I'm planning to. I've actually postponed going back to New Jersey for another few weeks so I can make sure that I get this visit done. I won't be back in Louisiana until like May when I come to shoot my second film, short film. So and I also may be in transition to move to California. So I know that I probably won't have time to make this happen or it's just going to be a whole emotional thing and I need to be focused on other things. So that's what I've decided. And now it's just a point of finding someone to go with me and or drive me there. So I talked to him New Year's Eve and we chatted. He corrected himself in saying that his first name wasn't Kevin, which is one of my deceased brothers, Woodard family. Um, so he corrected that and gave us the correct name that we've seen come up in searches. So now that we know his real name, my angels are, Janet and Maria are searching for him and her as well. And I'll tell you in a bit about my most recent conversation with her. So I talked again on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, I responded to a bunch of Facebook requests because I had like 300 or more sitting in there. Um, and I used to be the type when I first started doing business in photography and videography where I, just let the floodgates open and accept anybody because they could be a potential customer. And I've learned from that. So now it's like sometimes they'll sit for months before I accept it because I feel like I need to vet every person that comes in or sends a friend request. So anyway, so my birth father had told me that I need to connect with a person who is my cousin. He's the first cousin. Um, so my birth father's nephew. So I connected with the cousin online. He was one of the friend requests because when he said the name, I was like, oh yeah, somebody named sent me a friend request, but I didn't answer it. I didn't even look to see who it was or whatever. So I went and found him and answered the friend request, and he like immediately messaged me and was like, um, I saw your pictures, and I guess that one of the aunts had told him about me. And so he was like, yeah, I saw your pictures and I put them up against my cousin and I just knew you were, you were my cousin. So I was like, okay. And the cousin he was talking about is one of my birth father's sons, who's my brother. So a younger brother. And I remember my birth father mentioning that he had, like younger children, well, children younger than me. Um, and he mentioned having a young son who's like elementary age and then having one who's in his 30s. And he mentioned one daughter, but I've come to find out there's another daughter too. Anyway, so connected with this cousin online, he tells me about my brother. And then he sends me the link so I can friend him. Well, he's apparently a popular guy and couldn't accept any more friend requests. So I messaged him and was like, just wanted to hit you up. I was trying to send you a friend request, but I couldn't. So just hit me. I didn't mention like I'm his sister or anything like that. So I wish I could show you this picture because I mean we literally look exactly alike. Like if people saw us together, they would know that we were brother and sister. Same color, same nose, everything except I'm chunky and he's not. So, but you would know we came from the same people or same parent. Um, anyway, he is also living in Monroe. So I connected with him. He finally was able to set my friend request and we chatted on there and then he had me call him. So we talked on the phone. Come to find out he doesn't have as close a relationship with our birth father. So it was kind of tense because after talking to the sister who's in Baton Rouge, who seems to have a really positive relationship with him, it was weird to hear not a negative relationship, but more of a distant, I guess, relationship because just like with her, he was present but not involved. So it was like he knew who he was, but he really wasn't involved until much later in life. And by then, once you're an adult, it's like, I really don't need you now, but thanks, for offering. So anyway, but and then he was telling me about the younger son, younger brother, who's like 9 or 10. And then he said he mentioned the sister in Baton Rouge, and then he was like, "You have another sister. Somebody told me, her mom told me, this your sister." And so connected with him. He got her on three-way, and we connected with her. She's like in her 20s. So there's two of us in our 30s, two of us in our 20s, and then someone who's in his teens or 9 or 10 or whatever, elementary age. And not to mention the oldest, who is the brother that was born before me by my birth mother. So in all together, it's like six of us. So there's three in 30s, two in 20s, and then one who's elementary age. And that's just on my birth father's side. There are six siblings, six people, six of us. So I have five siblings that just on his side. So it's crazy. So I won't even know how many total until we are able to contact my birth mother. Anyway, so I'm in connection with them, with the new cousin, who I also found out has won a Grammy. He's a Grammy winning producer. Um, so it's crazy that a lot of us have the inner. He even told me that my birth father was in a band. I don't know if he was a singer or a musician. I plan to ask him about that next time I talk to him. But you just find out every person gives you something new. So it's crazy. And come to find out, like on this side of the family, there are a lot of the guys have lots of kids and not just by their wives. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. He was like, yeah, if you're one of the boys and somebody knows that you're part of the Nash family, they'll be like, oh, you one of them Nash boys. But when it's a Nash girl, it's like, oh, hey, totally different reaction from the same family based on gender, depending on gender. So anyway, that's the first couple of days. Now today, Janet asked me to call her, and she told me that, well, we had talked before because she's been watching these videos, so she's been paying attention to my updates. So it's kind of like, not that we don't have to talk, but she gets to see what's going on based on my update videos. So she said that they're finally going to reach out to my birth mother and not through a phone call, through another method. And hopefully she'll respond in the next 2 weeks or so. And if she does, then I'll be able to update you on that, on what her response is, if at all. She told me to prepare for any possible responses and start thinking of questions to ask her, because I feel like right now that if she does respond, I may only have one shot to get the story and get my questions answered. I don't have a feeling as of right now in my gut that she's going to want a relationship. She may be open to giving me answers, but it's like I may have like one or two conversations and then that's it, if that. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm as prepared as possible if it happens and get it all out in that one conversation, as long as I can keep her on the phone. Crazy. But anyway, that's what's been happening. Like, I've connected to siblings, connected to more family members. So it's another reason I feel like I need to stay a little longer, even though personally being here is really nerve-wracking, and anxiety is so high. It's just like, but I have unfinished business, and I don't want to wait till May to finish it or later. So I feel like let's just get this done now, then I can go back to Jersey, um, feeling a little better, a little more complete, and then finish my business in Jersey and come back in May. Right now, we just wait, basically. Once I figure out who and when will be able to take me to Monroe and when, then I can plan that visit. I'm not sure if he'll be open to being on camera, so it may just be me telling you what happened again, but um, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm ready for what it is, but I feel like it's now or never. Like, while I'm willing to do it, I need to go ahead and do it, or I might not. So, anyway, that's it. I will talk to you when I have something to share. Thank y'all for everything. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for following this journey, being on this journey with me, because it makes it easier when you have someone on the journey with you, even if they're not like physically with you. So, that's all. Later.